I need a container. Oh, it must have really kind of rained last night. We got some decent rain, but I didn't know how much it rained. But I'm seeing now it must have been a decent amount. I'm a little late, y'all. Uh, the people said they wanted me to go live, so I'm going live. Uh, Aisha not gonna be joining us today. She'll be back next week. If y'all missed my announcement from last week about the stuff, uh, uh, she has some business to go handle. And I asked y'all if y'all wanted me to go live, and you said yes. So here I am. Let me show y'all. I'm harvesting some. Yeah, I know that. It's all good. Um, these is cutting, but they ain't cutting the way I want them to cut. Uh, but anyway, I'm trying to cut this stuff one-handed, y'all. Child, I done lost my. Well, I won't say I lost it. I don't know where it's at. Uh, it's in the house somewhere. You know how you hide stuff from yourself sometimes. These things, when you cut them with these, they fly. Uh, but yeah, I'm cutting off. Uh, harvesting these roselle. The nights are getting so cool that I haven't seen a whole lot more growth on this plant. But you know, this is not this is a more or less kind of a tropical plant, and a lot of time when the nights get cool, let me turn y'all where y'all can see. I got this stuff turned every which way but the right way, and these probably could have got a little bigger, but child, I'm about to cut something off I ain't supposed to be cutting off.
How you doing?
Good, how y'all doing?
All right.
Let me pick up some of these. What's up, Roy Elliott? How you doing? When I tell y'all my phone my phone's steadily going off. Who in here? 6 people already. Roy Elliott, but anybody else? I'm gonna turn y'all back so y'all can see a little bit more harvesting. My thought is maybe if I cut, y'all hold on. My thought is maybe if I cut some of these off, I'll here we go. Uh-oh. Some of these, maybe I'll get some more. Maybe some more will come on here. Uh, yeah, I know that. What y'all got going on a Sunday? When you cut these things off, the limbs, they do raise up. Hey, how you doing? Oh, Lord have mercy. Child, these people is blowing my phone up. Sometimes you can't even. Okay. You realize that? Everybody in the room realize that. Oh, we just got them. No, because what I'm doing. And if she's scared to get in the ass, oh, wait a minute, y'all. I ain't even got y'all where y'all can see. All right. Did I cut this one? Did. Now I got to go through and pick them all up. Oh. What's up, Shay? How you doing? I'm just out here harvesting a little roselle out here. It's that time. I'm hoping if I harvest what I got, maybe it'll make it bloom a little more. Like I said this before you got here, but because these nights done got so cold, it slowed down on blooming. Like the ones that was on here just continued to get bigger, but it wasn't opening any new ones. So that's what I'm here trying to do, but I'm also trying to do it in such a fashion to where I can't do the ant. Okay, one got on me, I killed him before he could get started good, but I got to pay attention. Oh, now be careful when you harvest. That's not blood, that's the red from this. I think it's some ants in the ground right here. I got to be careful. I'm on them. I'm on them. I'm on them. They done built a mound. Oh my goodness. Boy, it's always my luck. It is my luck that the tiny little mound they done built right there, I would step on it. Boy, I ain't got my luck with these ants, but they didn't get me though. They was on me, but I got them out. I'm out here dancing. Did your roselle bite the? Oh yeah, your roselle got inundated by water. Yeah, last year I had that issue. I had 5 or 6 beautiful roselle plants getting big. Had started putting roselle on, and then it was a combination of things where I planted them, and we had like a week of rain where the rain just would not stop, and that did my little stuff. I tried. I couldn't even. I couldn't even say it. To watch your stuff just wither and die, ain't nothing you could do. I'm trying to be careful about the way I cut this. Try not to tear my plants up. Okay, got those 5 actually. And I'm also trying to lighten the load on some of these branches because uh the roselle, it'll drag your stuff, just drag it right down to the ground if it's got enough of them on it. Shay, you still got enough seeds for roselle? If you don't, I got plenty. If you want some of that white, let me know. I'm gonna have plenty enough seeds. I'm finna go over there and harvest some of that. Y'all, let me. Oh Lord, they going back and forth, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Let me tell y'all what's going on. I don't know if y'all can hear my phone beeping or not. What's up, Albert Miranda? The ants got me the other day, baby. It will tear you down, and it's so pretty today because So yesterday, okay, I got you. Yesterday I was so tied up, and I'll get into that in a minute. But yesterday I was so tied up, and then it rained later on in the day, and so like I think the rain started at oh 5 o'clock or so, and it rained almost till midnight. Y'all see what I harvested so far, and y'all, I got to watch them ants. I got to pay attention. Y'all, it just rained and rained and rained. So I won't have water for a little while. But child, these people, I don't know. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. And I'm not talking about what can you see? Okay. I'm not talking about boy, they be out here talking on me knowing them. I know you wasn't hollering out hey to me, but he was talking to somebody else. Anyway, do y'all allow people to just lie to y'all just to be lying to y'all? Y'all allow that? Or are there certain instances where you'll allow somebody to lie to you and other instances where you won't? I know that's a very strange question. Man, we didn't have rain for a good little while, Shay. We really didn't. We didn't have rain for a good little while. And I want to say 3 weeks, maybe a month, we didn't have rain. And then yesterday, really kind of out of nowhere, it just started pouring. And I don't know how many of y'all know yesterday was no king. So y'all know I was at the protest yesterday. I did security at the protest I was involved in. Um, they call it security, but it ain't really security. It's kind of security. It's like a liaison. Like you pretty much just watch the crowd to make sure you don't see nothing foolish, because it be police there. So if you see something foolish, you just notify the police. But that's neither here nor there. Met a lot of nice people yesterday. And it was peaceful. We didn't have no issues. We didn't have any issues at mine. And I think overall, I think the protests were fairly peaceful. But child, this morning, they on some S this morning. Uh, so we have a group me of the people who are local organizers. And it's some stuff that went on at the protests, y'all. Let me put it to you like this. The mayor of where I live, he's not a bold and blatant MAGA type person, but he is. He's one of their supporters. Um, Unfortunately, he has not figured out or will not draw the line between lawlessness. What I'm saying is, it's not a crime to be Republican, but when you're lawless, that is a crime. When you're against infringing upon rights and denying rights and things of this nature, that is a problem. It doesn't matter which side. So it's like he think he's slick and he tries to do little stuff to hinder us because he didn't want the protest to happen, period, you know. But I'm going to be honest, our mayor has been in place way too long. He kind of behaves like a dictator because he's been there so long. And he's been running unopposed. And that's finna cease. Because if it takes everything in me, I'm going to at the very least find somebody to run against your ass. If it kills me, I'm going to find. And even if that person runs, I want somebody to run against you so you can stop running unopposed, so you can stop thinking. Because see, what happens is when people run unopposed, they get in these offices and they stay in there so long and they start thinking, I must be what the city wants. I must be what the people want. When truthfully, you have people who are completely, because one lady came up to the protest, and like I said, I'm security, so I'm on the outskirts. She didn't even know what was going on. She was completely clueless. She was like, is this a protest? And we was like, yeah. And she was like, well, what are you protesting? And I said, it's a No Kings protest. No king. But America don't have no kings. And so we were in security teams. The other person it was teams of two. The other person that was in the team with me, they saw my eyes tangle because when she said that, because yeah, technically we don't. But when a sucker is behaving like a king, you know what I'm saying? So when he seen my eyes tangle up, he just put his hand on my shoulder and he started talking to her and started explaining to her. Because see, when I tell you I don't have no patience, I don't have no patience. I'm not saying you should know every single thing that's going on, but can you at least know the basic stuff? Can you at least know the basic stuff? But once again, the dumbing down of our education system, I'm not going to harp on that. I've said it in my videos multiple times. Education is very, 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 very important. Because when you don't know the basics in civics, economics, and things of this nature, you will never understand a whole bunch of stuff. Um, So anyway, he explained it to her. And then once he explained it to her, she was like, okay, I like that. I like, you know. But this guy, so many people are not engaged. So many people, um, and unfortunately, because America's made this such a rat race, they make it difficult for people to vote. Because I'm a strong proponent of voting day being a holiday for all workers. I think everybody should be off on voting day to give people the opportunity to go vote. I think that's a sacrifice that companies need to make. But unfortunately, a lot of these companies are paying for politicians to do certain things. So it behooves them for their workers to have to be working tooth and nail and don't even have time to go vote. See what I'm saying? That type of stuff is foolish to me because voting day should be a holiday for everybody. Uh, and I'm talking about, I know you can't make, because I'm not talking about every single time you vote because local elections have other little elections, but I think there needs to be things to be cleaned up to make it easier for people to vote and be able to vote because everybody don't, it's not always feasible for people to vote. Um, but yeah, now that doggone mayor been sitting in there too long and so they're in the thing. Somebody said something about something. And basically the mayor lied to the protest organizers and some stuff went on that wasn't supposed to go on. Not anything dangerous or anything, but just little petty little stuff. For instance, it's going to be a protest. Because where our protest was, we protested in front of the mayor's office. You lock yourself up in there. Protesters wanted to use the restroom. You lock yourself up in there and tell them protesters can't use the restroom. And they have to find somewhere to go use the restroom. Well, people are not going to stand around and piss on themselves. They're going to leave. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't leave, but I'm just saying. And I'm not saying that you should always have access to restrooms, but I'm going to go further. So my city has, because we have a lot of events that go downtown, the city invests in air conditioning, they're heated. They have sinks. They have individual stalls. They have different ones. They have one trailer that has one stall for women, one bathroom for women, and one bathroom for men. Then they have another trailer where it's same thing. It's a bathroom for men and women, but when you go in there, there are 6 stalls. So when you go on the women's side, it's 6 stalls and 3 sinks. And when you go on the men's side, I've never been in the men's side, but I assume it's the same. And maybe it's different. It may be urinals. I don't know. But I've never been in the men's. But y'all get what I'm saying. When they bought those and started having them, because we do have festivals and things, and they wanted to have something better than a porta potty, because let's be honest, porta potties can get real nasty real quick. Because me personally, I don't care nothing for a porta potty. If I'm going up in a porta potty, it's the last resort. I just soon piss in the woods. I'm just being real with you. Because y'all think I'm lying. I got a little device to make it to where I can go use bathroom in the woods. I don't have no issues. So anyway, child, he didn't even put that down there for the protesters. And to me, that was out of order, because I don't care if you don't like what people are protesting. You're still the mayor and everybody is your constituent. So you should have, that was city property. All you had to do was say, okay, I don't want them coming in here to use the restroom, but let's get that trailer that the city owns and let's sit it down here, because we still on city property. Let's do that so that protesters at least have somewhere to use the restroom. I'm not saying you have to do that, but if you're a kind person, you will do that. You know what I mean? Because I know if I was running something, even if I don't like you, you can be a counter protester, and I'm still humane. I'm gonna let you go to the if the city has provisions, and we do. So when I brought that up, some dude got mad, and he get to talking about, start talking out the side of his neck and start talking crazy. Well, I guess he thought he was gonna be able to talk crazy to me. He was sadly mistaken. You're not finna talk crazy to me. Little keyboard warrior. Because he get to talking about how, because I ain't gonna lie, I told him that the mayor, was inhumane for that. And like I said, this is the second time that he's done it. But he made it clear that he didn't want to protest the first time. And then he made it clear again that he didn't want to protest this time either. But it's not your say. It's freedom of speech. And these are our rights. Just like if these Trumpsters want to have a rally, they can have one. They're too sorry to organize one. That's very clear. Too sorry, because y'all tell me how many have they organized. People they come to Trump rallies and go to sleep. So, that kind of lets you know where they at. So, when I say that, he gets to talking about how that's misinformation. And I'm talking vulgar. I asked him, what did I say that was vulgar? Once again, when you ask very direct questions, there are no answers to the questions. He starts talking about how what I'm talking about as far as what the mayor is doing is a distraction to real issues. How is me? I'm picking peas. Now, y'all, I get sidetracked. I look over and see stuff. How is me talking about local officials being completely and totally out of order? And let me say this. This is not my only gripe with this mayor. This mayor has said blatantly racist things before. And whether you for that or ain't against that, guess what? In case you can't tell, I'm black. I ain't for that. I don't want my leader to be racist. Sorry. You get mad if you want to. I don't care. I have a right to say what I want. And if I don't want my leaders to be racist, that's me. If you want your leaders to be racist, that's you. You know what I'm saying? You take that up with your God. But your God look like me. So be careful with that. So anyway, they arguing back and forth. I simply told the dude, I said, look here, my concerns about local leadership is just as valid as whatever concerns you may have. I don't even think this dude came to the protest, because he started asking questions, and then when I said, did you even come to the protest? Dude ain't answering. Yeah, because you weren't there. You're complaining about some stuff, and then the organizers of the protest, and I'm not trying to be funny, they They starting to work on my nerve. Uh, they jump in there saying, X, Y. This the thing. They don't like to see people have discourse and talk. Let me see what this is. No, show it. Show it, YouTube. Don't play. Show. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay. I was finna say, who the other moderator in here? It say another moderator just handled this. Who the moderator? But anyway, excuse me. Let me read these coming. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. There's no trust. I can't deal with a lie. Yeah, me either. And when you're proven to be a liar, if you're a friend or somebody that I'll care for, I'll try to kind of rein you in. But if you somebody I don't care for, honey, I just don't fool with you. You get what I'm saying? I just make a decision that I don't want to fool with you. That's what happens. I think there was about 1,000 people that showed up in Houston. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, yeah. Porta potties can be. Ever since I saw a movie where they flipped the. Oh my God. I think I saw the movie that you talking about. Yeah, I can't handle that. Just kill me. Kill me now. I'm serious. Turn me over with it and kill me now. Not making a bathroom available for public or protesters is a way of saying I don't want you to protest. Exactly. And that's what I was saying in the group is that because he did that, and then y'all, I'm gonna go further to tell you where he did this. And so the first protest that we had back in July, uh, he at first he indicated that the bathrooms, like that the city building that we were protesting in front of, would be open. He made like it would be open and that we would be able to use one of the designated bathrooms because that building has more than one bathroom. But the day of, he was like, never mind, y'all not gonna be able to use the bathroom. And then he proceeded to take his ass up in there and lock himself in and watch out of the windows. I didn't hear about that until after. So, because the first protest I just participated, this protest I helped to organize. Okay, so when I got there, since I'm security, I got to get there early. When I got there, I noticed that two of the parking lots that are for this particular building are blocked off. When you pull up, guys is standing there and they're like, y'all here for the event? I'm thinking they talking about the protest because I didn't know nothing about no other event. I said, the protest? They was like, it's another event going on the inside. I said, okay, well, we not here for that. And he said, oh no, then y'all can't park here. This dude, so the first time, and keep in mind, he still kept them doors locked from me. So he continued that from the first one. And then now he's blocking the parking. He blocking the parking, don't want you to get in. So when I seen that, because nobody was in the parking lot, it was vacant. So when I seen that, I said, I read the sign on the door what the event was supposed to be that was on the inside. I called a friend of mine that worked for the city. I say, hey girl, let me ask you a question. They got this event going on down here. What time that start? She said 4 or 5 o'clock. I said, girl, why I'm up here for the protest? The protest was 1 hour. It was from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I got there early. I got there at 9 because we had to brief. Why this man blocked them parking lots off at 9 in the morning for an event that was at 4 or 5 p.m.? You tell me he ain't trying to hinder. He trying to hinder. Like you said, that's his way of saying. So that's the second thing. So that means he's showing me a trend. That means every single event, he gonna come up with something else, more and more to hinder. Now, when the event is over with, so we had a couple of elderly people that have health issues, and y'all know me, I'm gonna go check on the elderly. So, but we have provided them chairs in the shade, things like this. I go check on the elderly. One of the ladies done told me I had to go to the restroom. And I went over to the police station, and they were instructed to not let me go to the restroom. So I got in my car and I went home and went to the restroom. Thankfully, she don't stay far. But she got in her car, went home, went to the restroom, and returned. That's out of order. It's out of order when the city have bathrooms that they own and can put out. And no other event was going on. That was you. It'd be different if we was having a festival or something. They using the bathroom. They weren't using them. You see what I'm saying? This is the stuff that I'm talking about. If your political leaders can't just be, they have to be kind. And what do I mean by kind? I don't mean nice. People get it confused with kind and nice. And I have to explain this to people all the time. Kind is, for these Christians, you behave more like Jesus. You would do for people who probably wouldn't even do for you. Now in that regard, I'm not kind, because you don't do for me, I ain't doing for you. It is what it is. And I'll answer to the Creator for that. But that's a conscious decision, because what you're not gonna do is walk all over me. But when you're a servant, you're a servant of the people. And when you will do your people like that just because you don't like their views, you're a nasty person to me. I don't care what nobody say. To make a 80-something-year-old lady that's out here exercising her rights. Do y'all realize that lady don't have to come out and exercise her rights? She 80-something years old. But she's trying to be civically active. And for you to make it to where she have to go home and come back, this is disgusting person. I don't care. You get mad at me and say what you want. Because if I was leader of anything, somebody tell me they got to go to the bathroom, hey, make it to where the people can go to the bathroom. I don't like them MFers, but they got bladders just like I do. So, and let me see, yeah, because if you don't bring that to his attention, the next thing you know, he's going to be a big issue. See, yeah. And you have to, this stuff makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense how nasty people just so trifling and dirty. They're just dirty on so many different levels. But then when I bring that up, here they come. See, and I can't stand this either. In the group me, so I have a picture. I don't hide from nobody. I have a picture next to me. So when I type stuff up there, you know exactly. Because matter of fact, when I'm at the protest, people say, "Oh, you so and so from the group me." I just love what you be posting in there. You be getting them together. You be telling them, because let me be all the way real with you. And I love everybody. And you have white people who are very well-meaning. They're well-meaning. They have good hearts, but due to cultural differences and due to life experiences, a lot of times they overlook some things. Well, let me put it to you like this. My ancestors or divine spirit or whatever you want to call it tell me, go sit in those groups, because if it's all white people, nobody's going to tell them and check them and show them, because little stuff be going on. The mayor lied to the organizers and told them that event was going on at the same time as our event. How I called somebody that worked for the city, that worked for the mayor, and told me he lied to them. He lied to them just so he wouldn't look some type of way. He do that all the on y'all. Cause I'm finna. I ain't got time to be playing. We have an executive meeting Monday, a Zoom call meeting, and I'm gonna let it be known. Cause see, the lady that's leading a lot of this stuff, she was born in the South, she was raised in the South, but then she left and went to California. She been in California for 20 or 30 years. And like I said, she has a good heart and she means well. But y'all ever seen somebody that maybe you missing some things because you don't quite understand how some of these little Southern politics work. You don't understand this little sneaky stuff that they'll do. And because of that, you let certain stuff slide. But when you let it slide, the demons, they be in their head like, look at this dumbass. I just lied to her. Let me keep lying to her. Let me keep telling her whatever I'm going to tell her. Because she ain't going to do nothing about it. Because, see, I'm going to tell you right now that mayor don't like me because we done had a run-in. We done had a run-in. You're not going to come in my community and tell me something about there needs to be more fathers in the home when you've been married 4 times and 2 of your ex-wives say you a better mayor than you are a father. Then when I call you out and holler that out in the meeting, then you want to leave. No, don't leave. Stay. Let's have dialogue since you want to have dialogue since you know so damn much. But see, these are the type of leaders that we talking about. You talking out the side of your neck. Crazy. But anyhow, I'm back here checking on my little brassicas back here. But child, these people, I don't know. And like I said, it bothers me because it's the lack of compassion for the people. I don't care if you don't like their views. It's a whole lot of people I don't like their views. When I go in the store and I see these people with these maggots, do you think I'll attack them people, say anything to them people? In my head, I said, Lord, and I keep on walking. I don't say nothing to them people. But I know I wouldn't dog them out either. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't make things untenable for them. I wouldn't make their life harder just because they out here trying to exercise their rights. That's absolutely crazy. And the idea that a person would think that that's okay. And you call yourself a quote-unquote leader. Child, please. I got to pour this water out these trays. I'm going to turn this camera around and let y'all see in just a second. These things look a little beat up, but they'll be okay. Let me turn around and show y'all. Y'all see the rain kind of heavy on them. So they a little laid down a little bit, and you see some of the soil is kind of displaced. But don't worry, y'all. If your stuff look like this after a rain, 9 to my 10, some of them standing up, but y'all see some of them kind of laying down. They'll stand back up. They will. You just have to give them a little time to recoup. Like I said, we got rain better part of last night. But I'm just out here checking my stuff. Go grow. I hope you ain't left yet, girl. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you right quick. Look at that mullein. Girl, look at that mullein. Look at that mullein. That's from them seeds you sent. Y'all see this? Before that rain, that leaf wasn't tore. You know, stuff fall on your stuff. When it's out in nature, it, you know, things happen. But it's okay, though. But y'all, on a more positive note, we got rain and y'all excuse. We got rain, and for the most part, it looks like most stuff is looking okay out here. It could look worse. This is my first time being out checking on the stuff, because like I said, the people were cutting up in the whatchamacallit so bad. And I was reading the stuff. And I just look, and the killing part is when this dude come in here and say crazy stuff to people, they be like, let's everybody calm down. No, let's not everybody calm down. I've noticed that's a huge thing with these people. They want everybody to calm down. No, not everybody. Get the MFers who in here saying this crazy stuff. Address them. That's who you need to address. Because that's the one. Look at this, y'all. Ain't it pretty? He just sitting there. I ain't gonna cut that leaf, buddy. I'm just cutting out some of these brown leaves. Don't worry. I won't cut the one you on. I'm gonna let it be. Okay? You're pretty. Yeah, you are. Why you not moving? You alive? Yeah, you are alive. Okay. You feel me touching your tail? I wasn't gonna snip the tail. I'm just touching it. Anyway, y'all, I have lizards everywhere. Some of them afraid of me, some of them not. It's one on my porch that ain't afraid of me, y'all. I was out there shelling peas. That sucker almost come got in my lap. I ain't never seen nothing like it. He ain't scared of me at all. Y'all, I'm just gonna clip out. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna encourage a whole lot more growth with these nights being cold like this, but I'm gonna clip out a couple of these leaves. It may make a little difference. A little bit. See, I got turmeric back there, y'all. I got turmeric everywhere. And I got turmeric over there. Y'all, a lot of this is from reusing soil. I reused some soil, and it must have had some tiny pieces of turmeric in it. I didn't realize. Because I started with turmeric way over there, and I reused some soil in these containers. And every one of them that I reused soil in, golly, the wind done blow my low quart over. Set this up. This is why you have to come out here and check your stuff, people. Because sometimes your stuff be down, you don't even know it. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. See turmeric over in here. I ain't gonna be back here long because I'm mad at them mosquitoes. They probably finna get bad. Now look here. I'm gonna get these pigeon peas off of here. Now, you can pick pigeon pea when they green like this or when they fully dry. I'm gonna go ahead and pick them like this because I'm gonna get these too. Because it's a couple of people I'm gonna send seeds to that say they want to try. I got to get you. I done dropped him down there. I see where he at. Because number one, I want to pick these because I'm gonna send seeds to people. But then number two, these pigeon peas, they got a good smell to them. I didn't know they had no doggone smell. At least I think. Let me see. Yeah, they smell like something. Yeah, they got a kind of, I don't know, kind of herbal kind of smell. Anyway, cotton. That go a flower, ain't it pretty? This another one gonna come in. For those of y'all that have never watched me before and wondering why is a black woman growing cotton. Well, sometimes I think, because for years I said I would never grow cotton, but then I doubled back and thought about that. I'm not saying I would ever grow cotton for money. I don't know, I may, but right now that's not on my radar. But y'all, I'm growing cotton because my ancestors grew cotton, and apparently they said they were pretty good at it. I mean, it was good enough to build a nation with. So I said I was going to try my hand at it, and I'm actually glad I grew it. Cotton is in the okra family, if you didn't know. So add that to the long list of hibiscus family plants that we grow, because if you look at okra is very African. If you look at, I don't really know the history of cotton. I'm gonna really look up the history of cotton because I find that very interesting. But you know what? I did look up something where it talked about turn this camera around. I did look up something where it talked about and if you think about it, it makes sense. In Africa, that they had cotton as well, because there's an African cotton that's black, like the leaves and stuff. It's like black. The bowls, the actual cotton itself is still white, but the color of the plant is gorgeous. Well, I say black, but it's like a purplish. But they talk about Africans making fabric and things way before the colonies were ever even thought of, and it makes sense. You have royalty and things like that because they talk about how, I think it was either British, but let's say European royalty, when they go down in Africa and they saw the chiefs and things wearing these colors that were dyed and stuff, colors like, for instance, blues, purples, those colors that are associated with royalty, because those colors were not colors that you saw a lot back then. Very bright, vibrant colors, reds and things of this nature. So I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, they probably were growing cotton already and making their fabrics out of it. If you know anything about the Dutch, which I'm gonna have to read more about this too. I know a little bit, but I don't know enough to speak, accurately on it. But when you think about Ankara fabrics, that's cool, but it's actually some stuff that went on with the Dutch that is not so good for black people, even though they're thought of as I forget what they were doing. I can't remember if it had something to do with the slave trade though, and colonialism. It had something to do with that, but it was something about that fabric that actually, that's not. It ain't that hot for you to be partaking in that fabric, but it is what it is. But I think maybe at some point Africans may go back to growing their own cotton. Maybe. I done muted. My bad. Look at this lamb's quarter. Look at this. It's taller than me. I need to harvest. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm gonna chop the top out of this. I'm gonna lay that to the side. I'm gonna chop the top out of this one. I'm gonna lay it to the side. There's gonna be some lamb's quarter. Then I'm gonna go over here and harvest some of this longevity spinach. But yeah, y'all, that cotton is beautiful. Those flowers and stuff end up being really pretty. It's a really pretty flower to have in the landscape. I never knew what a cotton flower looked like. Y'all tell me if y'all knew, because I didn't. View message. Y'all quit hiding shade messages, YouTube. Full ass. Okay, let me see. I never wanted to grow, but mom want me to get the seeds. We can't blame the plant. That's true. Just because here's the thing. Cotton was king when it comes to cash crops, but it was not the only. They grew tobacco, they grew rice, they grew indigo for making jeans, for dyeing the jeans specifically. It's so many cash crops, sugar cane, you can go on, but nobody ever says anything. But I also think that has to do with the media too, because when they portray, which I'm not gonna lie to you, if you ain't never drove through the South, drive from Texas to Georgia and go down I-20. I guarantee you, during a certain time of year, that's all you're gonna see is cotton. I'm for real, especially when you get to the tail end of Mississippi tail end of Louisiana going over into Mississippi, then going over into Alabama. You at a certain time of year, you gonna see more cotton. You ain't gonna know that, because I'm telling you, I did not realize America was still growing that amount of cotton until I got to college, and we went to Alabama A&M. And baby, I said, I hope these buses don't break down, cause we gonna be some cotton picking fools out here. Baby, I had never seen so much cotton. But yeah, we still produce a lot. But like I said, nobody ever blames tobacco. Nobody ever says anything about sugar cane. Not really. Nobody ever. And they say slavery in Jamaica, raising that sugar cane was very brutal. Not saying that cotton wasn't. But they say, but think about it. Sugar cane, if you handle it wrong, it slices you open. Granted, cotton will make you bleed too. Cotton will make you bleed too. That's why I says, when they say skilled labor, they wasn't lying. You think the people that get good at picking that cotton to where they don't bleed? It take my granny to talk about that. And she was sharecropping cotton. And she was like, nah, baby, you learn how to pick that stuff where you don't even get hurt no more. You don't have to bleed but once or twice. And you'll stop that. You'll stop whatever you did. You're not going to do that no more. So, yeah, but I decided to grow it because I have decided that I am going to, instead of, it was slavery a positive thing? No, it was very brutal. It was these things. But like I tell people, I'm going to start telling people to look at it like this. My ancestors was strong enough to do that work. Whereas the people, now this is a weed I'm cutting out of here. Whereas the people who came up with the idea for my ancestors to do that work were not strong enough to do that work. And they've proven that time and time again. Because you want to get rid of the immigrants now. You don't want to do that work they're doing now. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't many people who will do that work. We know who will do that work. Because let me explain something to you. I farm every day. This ain't no easy work. I'm going at a leisurely pace now. But when they pick that stuff, they don't be going at no leisurely pace. They have to pick a certain amount to get paid a certain amount. Them suckers be picking 90 to nothing. If you think I'm lying, go watch them pick. And see how heavy that stuff is. They be toting it up over their heads. Child, please. These people ain't gonna do that work. So if my ancestors was resilient enough to do the work and be experts at growing all kinds of things, cash crops all the way down to food, who am I to limit my knowledge? Because like I said, those people were agricultural experts. People want to reduce them to slaves or whatever. Yeah, were they captive? They were. But they were also agricultural experts. Blacksmithing experts. All these things. Everything that ran the plantations, they were contractors. They building them plantations. Don't let them white people tell you they was building that. Black people built that stuff. Now, I will say the architects probably was white. But the people who built it with their hand, black. Every last one of them plantation homes. So if you go visit them and you think they're beautiful, you think to yourself, so-called unskilled labor. built that. You know, those are the things we have to think about. So I said I'm going to start embracing stuff. I don't care about the trauma part. I'm not going to embrace the trauma. I'm going to embrace the endurance of my ancestors and their fortitude and things like that. And like I said, even on down to my granny sharecropping in Louisiana. That wasn't something she wanted to do, but guess what? She did it so they could eat, their whole family. They didn't, you know, did they want to do that now? Did they complain now? You just get out there and you work and you have to do what you have to do. And my granny's the one that taught me how to do this. So who am I to say that, oh, I don't want to learn how to grow that? My granny knew how to grow it. How come I can't know? So, and that's just for me. I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just giving y'all my testimony. Y'all don't have to do anything I do. By the way, if you want the seeds go grow, let me know. I got seeds. I got a plenty. A plenty. And I got access to seed too. So let me know if you want to grow them. It's actually pretty easy to grow. As far as the state regulations, because you know we do got a boll weevil regulation. When I call the people about mine, they asked me how many plants was I growing. And when I told them I wasn't growing but about 4 or 5 plants, they told me it wasn't no need of me filling out no paperwork or nothing, because I'm not growing enough of it to make a difference. They was like, if you was to get boll weevil, and they was like, you probably not with 4 plants. If you was, them boll weevils eat your stuff to the ground, then you won't even have no plants. Them little plants. I said, oh, okay. And so I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to fill out anything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's some kind of regulation. So I always check. I don't think too many people gonna bother if you're growing in your backyard, but I caution people, you know, just know what you're getting into. It's just like if you smoke weed or if you smoke dope, just know if that's illegal and they catch you, you know what I'm saying? Just no, y'all, I'm just cutting down weed now. Y'all know what's going on. I advise you to know your rights and know what you can and cannot do. I don't advise you to just be out here breaking the law willy-nilly. Then you be talking about you don't know. Because you don't know is not a legal defense. I just want to let you know that it's not. I didn't know it's not a legal defense. Y'all remember that tara I broke off? There it go right there. Y'all see all these horseradish leaves ate up? That's what I'm cutting off now. And I'm just putting them back down in here because I want them to break right back down. See these cold nights? It made that tara bent over. I don't know if that sucker gonna straighten back up or what, but the leaf done come off and everything. I'm gonna lay that down in there. I'm gonna lay all this little stuff because I don't want no nutrition to leave. But y'all see, real talk now, if you got horseradish, this is a good trap crop. It seems like the bugs like this here more than they like my other brassicas. Now, when this is ate up, they will go to the other brassicas. So don't think that they won't, they will. But if you want to try to use a trap crop method, you could do that. And it may, this done blow. It may help you out if you try to use your trap crop method. I be trying to cut off. Y'all, I have so many different weeds and things be growing. It don't even make sense. Read the comment. Okay, you say that. We must have brought the cotton. I'm wondering, Shay. I haven't. Girl, I've been so busy. Let me show y'all. This is the longevity spinach, and that's the witch common. The lamb's quarter. Y'all, lamb's quarter is edible. I don't like it raw because it's a little tough, but you can saute it straight. If you saute it like spinach, it don't take long to cook either. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. A lot of this, you know what? The mosquitoes don't seem bad back here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit back here and cut these leaves off. I'm gonna get me something to sit on. I'm gonna cut them leaves off of that longevity spinach. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, we may have, cause if we brought okra, and then like I said, look in the Caribbean, the people growing the Jamaican sorrel, that's in the same family. All these things, and if you think about those crops. Now, yeah, the cotton get the boll weevil. Nothing else has touched that cotton. Real talk. Ain't a hole in it. And I'm growing that kind of in the shade. If you grow it like Clark's in full sun, what I showed y'all, saw how much cotton he had. That's because it's in full sun. I do recommend growing it in full sun. It can take it. But I just didn't have a full sun spot. Next year I'm gonna grow it in full sun. But so many of those plants that are related, we were growing so many of those plants. And I find that to be very interesting as well. Because as I say, I try to think of my garden as a cultural oasis where I can celebrate my culture and then, you know, some other cultures too. Because I grow some Asian stuff out here. I grow some, you know, I grow some different things out here that's not necessarily Afrocentric, if you want to call it that, or Black-centric, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this is my little oasis. But yeah, I believe in. I've grown tired of growing the same old stuff that everybody grow. You know, just the same old. You know, whatever it might be, tomatoes or just whatever. I'm sure you can use these stems, y'all. I don't. Do anybody grow longevity spinach and use the stem? I need to be asking Aisha that. Y'all remind me to ask Aisha that next video. She can tell us. Because Aisha was the one sent this to me and turned me on to both of them, the Okinawa spinach and the longevity spinach. If you struggle growing regular spinach due to heat and all this kind of stuff, grow this here. It's drought tolerant. Come back every year. It's a perennial. Comes back every year. Don't no pests bother it. Look how pretty. You see? I mean, it's a couple of holes, but those holes are from like acorns falling and stuff like that. The squirrels don't eat it. The birds don't fool with it. The bugs don't fool with it. Cause I have bugs over there. None of that stuff bothers it. And it just grow. You know, that's all. It just grow. I haven't had any. And let me tell you, this easy to propagate. If I took that stem and put it in dirt, I'm telling you right now, in 2 or 3 days, the sucker have some leaves. I ain't lying. It'll have some leaves on it. You can break this up and get you several plants out of that one. And I may do that. If people say they want longevity spinach, I may cut that up and root me some cuttings. You know, that may be a little hustle. I may sell some cuttings. I said it wasn't no mosquitoes. The mosquitoes made a lot of me. Just like the rice and the okra, yeah. Ain't nobody blocked you. Girl, if they did, I was going to unblock them. What's up, GT Junior? Technology can do that work. You can't tell me we can make robots for companions, but we can't make a machine to harvest a plant. That's true. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of farming is still not mechanized. They do have, nowadays, that's why humans don't pick cotton anymore. They do have a machine that does it. Just like corn. Corn is now completely mechanized as well. So are most grains, wheat, things of that nature. Grains are mechanized. The things that are not mechanized, which fruits, I think it's nuts that they shake the trees. Let me turn me around. I think it's nuts that they shake the trees. But then humans have to come behind and pick the nuts up off the ground. Now, certain stuff, I'm not saying they can't do it. For instance, picking certain fruits that bruise easy, it's going to take somebody to really come up with something. I'm not saying it can't be done. It can be done. The thing is that I think the reason why it hasn't, good God Almighty, it was 2 or 3 of them sucking at once. Let me get in here. I'm talking, these damn vampires are tearing me up. Anyway, I'm finna put on some repellent. I ain't got time to be fooled with these vampires. This don't make no sense. Let me get me something. Sure, I got something for them. My little meat is too sweet to just, I can't, it's just ridiculous. But I think the reason why they hadn't done a lot of mechanization is because labor has been so cheap. Let's be real. So when it comes to cotton, they figured out a gin, but then pretty much stopped kind of working on the technology as far as cotton. I'm talking about during slavery time. They figured out a cotton gin, and let's be real, a black person figured that out. Y'all don't be stupid enough to believe that Eli Whitney created the cotton gin. He did not. Why would a white man create the cotton gin? He ain't picking no damn cotton. Negroes figured out the cotton gin. He just took credit for it because couldn't no black person. Y'all hold on. I got to put on my other arm. I can't. Y'all to look down. There were 12 of them on one arm. I can't be fooled. I can't be fooled with that. Ooh, I see my neighbor. I hope she don't bring her ass over here. Because I'm busy. I'm working. I'm live, child. I ain't got time. But anyway, they did that. They only conceded to the cotton gin part because prior to cotton gins, what they were having certain slaves do was to sit and pull those fibers. They would have a certain amount of, like, because after all the picking is done, you know, work don't stop. Anybody that farm, no, work don't stop. You're going to sit and you're going to pull. And if you've ever tried to do that, which is another reason why I actually encourage people, if you don't grow but one plant, grow one plant. Know what your ancestors did and have a greater appreciation for what they did to create your lineage. Because they had to live through that, have a family, have raise children through all of that so that you could be here. Grow it one time so you could see. But anyway, they created that gin because it takes too long. It takes extremely too long. Cotton gin worked real quick. But because they had free labor, there was no need for them to come up with a machine. Because the machine they have that does the cotton now, they could have come up with it back in the day. It's not that technologically savvy. It pretty much cuts all the cotton off, and then it has kind of like a screen or something, a way to filter out the plant parts, meaning the leaves and the stems, from the cotton bolls. But even when it gets to cotton, it's still not all the way clean. They have to run it through another process to finish getting the last of all those plant bits out of those cotton. Then they run it through the gin, and that gets the seeds out. So there are several processes, but yeah, they didn't come up with anything because labor was free. And I believe that's why. Well, labor was free then, and now labor is more or less free, because when you're telling a person, I need you to pick 100 pounds of apples for $4. Are they motivated to make a machine? Sure ain't. Sure ain't. Because if they make a machine to pick them apples, and I'm just using apples just as an example. If they make a machine to pick them apples, y'all know how much farm equipment costs? So that's probably a $2 million machine that farmers going to have to buy. Farmers would rather pay immigrants to pick that stuff because they ain't got to pay $2 million at one whop. It's not costing, their labor cost is not $2 million. I assure you, not in one season. So yeah, I believe it's the same thing over and over. You don't wanna come up with nothing because labor has been so cheap. But see, if we get a working wage, I'm gonna tell you something. If you get a working wage for everybody, that's gonna cease. Because at that point, labor is gonna be to the point where them farmers are begging for a machine. You see what I'm saying? They're begging for a machine to pick that stuff. Because they ain't gonna want to pay no working wage. Now, but see, like I said, some things people gonna have to hurt for them to understand it. And to be quite frank with you, why you think I'm growing my food? Let me explain to you how I'm not crazy. I've been said a whole lot of stuff finna repeat itself. Okay. Why you think I'm out here growing food and doing the best I can and trying to have as many skills as I can so that when stuff hit the fan, people can stand around and be crazy all they want. I'm gonna try my best to be as self-sustainable as I can. Good luck. I wish everybody the best luck they can have. But if you're not out here bettering yourself, I don't know what to tell you. You can cry and whine and moan and complain if you want. That don't get you nothing. It ain't gonna get you the food. You can't whine and pay your light bill. You know what I'm saying? Crying don't pay light bills. It don't pay mortgages. It don't pay none of that stuff. Trust me, I have tried. I went up in my mortgage office and laid down in the floor. They called the police on me. That don't work. That don't work. I'm just here to tell you. But y'all, I'm just down here cutting these limbs off of this longevity spinach. They coming because they want 15 minutes of YouTube fame, I guess. At today's price of working wage, it would be. It would be. I don't think, to be fair, I don't think they'll do it in my time. To be honest, it's a whole lot of stuff that, quite frankly, like I said, Reaganomics. Reaganomics. Not, you know, the people who thought, because there's still some idiots that really think Reaganomics helped us. Reaganomics effed this country up. Real talk. That's when the mess started. It started in the 80s. It took us 40 years to get here. You know what I'm saying? And because I know how to read a book, I already seen the stuff coming. I seen it coming. Now, did I know exactly? But I'm just saying I see certain stuff. When you see jobs and companies that care less and less for their workers, people could work and have a family and have retirement and be okay. And then they say, okay. And I don't even, to be honest, I don't know how the people went for that. Yeah, let's start sending the stuff overseas. And I'm not saying that we would be able to make everything. But yeah, because these people is living, the middle class is living too good. Let's send stuff overseas. Let's do that. Because that'll make the goods cheaper. And people went for that mess. Child. But I guess that's the same as, you know, these farmers. They do and say certain things and then that stuff bites them in the butt. I guess they don't, I don't know. Intellect, this country has never had the smartest people. Hell, the founding fathers wasn't smart. They was pretty stupid if you ask me, but whatever. Morally corrupt and stupid. But, you know. Child, but yeah, they just be looking cross-eyed and crazy. But I think greed has just, the only way is that, you know, something really gonna change. The masses in America are just gonna really have to start voting in the ballot booth, but voting with their dollar. I think voting with your dollar is gonna change it faster. Cause let me be all the way real with y'all. People continuing to, if I see one more Apple, what's the phone? i17, iPro, whatever the F it is. If I see one more ad about that phone, and these people run out buying that phone, not understanding that the very people running Apple is the very people who want you to be poor. That's why they pricing these phones like that. It costs Apple, what they say it costs Apple to make them phones $4. Y'all sitting up paying thousands of dollars on damn phone. Crazy hell. And the only thing they telling you is, oh, the camera's better. What? So the camera's better so I can do what? Record what the powers that be is doing. So I can record the ICE raids. So I can record people infringing on my rights. So I can record that. That's why they keep making the camera better. So you can record and put it on social media. Okay, good luck. I'll keep my little phone 4 or 5 years old. It's working just as good. I'm gonna keep my little phone. I'm gonna keep this sucker till it won't turn on no more. And even when I buy a phone, I don't even buy that sucker. I don't go to the store and buy no phone brand new. You do what you want to do. I pay $200 for a phone. I don't care if it's used. I sure don't. Give me a little refurbished phone and go on by my business. And I've been doing that for years. My phone carrier keep trying to tell me, you know, you can get on a payment plan for a phone. No, I'm paying you for a service. I'm not paying you a penny more. I'm not paying you a penny more. You don't add that much value for me to be paying you all this money. Your service is enough. I want nothing else. Y'all, there's a lot of longevity spending. I'm gonna have a lot to wash and free. But see, this is what I'm talking about. People ain't growing leafy greens, you crazy. I don't know, I'm sorry. Y'all get mad at me, I don't care, you crazy. You better be growing you some leafy green. Because the push come to shove. You can't put something in a pot and cook. Yeah, green. That's the only thing working for them. I'm sure it's working for me. Look, I got a little of them all about the Benjamins, baby. I got a little, you know, and I keep my money right, but I'm not crazy, y'all. The dollar, the value of the dollar is falling. And it's nothing we can do about that. I'm just going to be all the way real with you, because when the dollar falls, guess what? Your dollar goes just as far as that rich person, not far at all. You see what I'm saying? And I don't hear many people talking about that, but I know about that because I'm a financial advisor. See, let me explain to you how, and this I'm going to tell y'all. Trust and believe when I tell you I have some rich ass clients, and I have told people before, this is why I'm getting the hell out of financial services, because I sit up and I can tell you how these rich people will take that money and work against my community. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, but y'all get what I'm saying. And the baby do it right in your face, blatantly, don't care. Yeah, I'm finna take, I want to get out some money so I can, and they'll tell you what they're gonna do with it too. Tell you. But see, look here. You pay me for a service. I'm passing no judgments, but what I'm saying is I peep game. Okay? And that's exactly why I'm getting out of that. And I'm not saying that I don't have any clients that look like me. I do. And I help them best I can. But let me be all the way real with you. Black people so slow to get their money together. You can beg, you can beg and plead and tell them everything up under the sun about why they need to get their money together. And all of this. And the people will look at you in your face and continue to try to justify why they need 7 caramel macchiatos every single day from Starbucks. Or whatever else they're blowing their money on. Won't put their money toward, at least so you can have something. Let me explain something to y'all. If my car quit right now, I can go buy one cash. I ain't playing with y'all. I don't play. I can go get one cash. You don't understand how I can walk around. See, people wonder why I walk around with the confidence that I walk around with, because I can make some moves, like, and people don't. But the thing is, I'm not one. That's not me bragging. What I'm telling you is, have your stuff, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Your hot water heater could go out. Your washing machine, anything could happen. And watch this. If your washing machine or something go out, look, practice now. Get you a rough bowl. You never know. We never know. The city may, the way they going, the way they doing the little stuff, how you know they won't tell your municipality to cut the water off? Or to cut the power off? I got a rough bowl in there. You think I won't use that rough bowl? You think I don't know how to use? I sure do know how to use too. I don't want to use, but I may need to, because I'm not gonna walk around in no dirty clothes. I'm really not. You see what I'm saying? Know where your bodies of water is in case you need to wrench off in a river or something. Now be careful. Some of these rivers got something in them. You know, little toxins and things. Be careful. Shay, you stay away from them bayous. You know, them women, them people they found dead in them bayous. You stay away from them bayous, Shay. But yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you got to be rich, because I'm not rich. But what I'm saying is I keep a certain amount of money, because I don't never know what may happen. And a lot of people think it take a lot of money. No, it don't. If you take $5 every time you get a paycheck, if you take $5 and you say, okay, I'm going to put that over here for a washing machine fund. And if my washing machine go out, I have some money. 9 times out of 10, your washing machine going to last. You probably be putting that $5 over there for 2 years. When your washing machine go out, you going to look up and you going to say, oh, damn, I got about $2,000 sitting over here. You see what I'm saying? Put you some money somewhere and don't touch it. And I got several little funds like that. Well, I just put $5. That's all I be putting. $5. $5 here, $5 there. You be surprised how that stuff add up when you don't touch it. And don't look at it, because if you look at it, you be tempted to touch it. Be tempted to go to the casino or wherever you like to go. Be tempted to buy some women, whatever you be buying. Maybe buying me in LA for sale too. But yeah, y'all have your stuff together. But like I said, the same token, I'm worried about the dollar falling, because if the dollar ain't worth nothing, what do it matter if we got any money? Hell, let's go to selling their ass or something. I don't know. I don't want to do that. But I will say this: if you're a gardener, you got a leg up. If you're growing some edibles, you got a leg up. If you're growing some herbs, you got a leg up. That's why I keep telling y'all, you better keep growing. You better keep harvesting and putting stuff away. Because if we have to go back to bartering, you got something to barter with. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of people out here ain't got nothing to barter with. It'll take my granny to talk about that. How during the Great Depression, how in the neighborhood, they used to swap and trade with each other. It was the people who wasn't growing anything, didn't have anything to barter. Them was the people who was really messed up. Granny was like, it was tough, but shoot, we grew stuff. So we could kind of barter. Or we had some skill. So we could kind of do. My great-grandmother them didn't have no issues. She said the white people was coming to them and had their meats and stuff smoked and processed and stuff, because my grandfather knew how to do that. She said, girl, we ain't had no problem. She said white people were coming to us to pay for stuff. And that's why I say also, that's why it's important for you to get these stories from your elders. If you see some elders and you vibe with them and they cool, get their stories of their life, because you never know what they have to tell you. They have all kinds of stuff to tell you, because school will tell you everything. You know, school told me everybody was struggling. Shoot, my great-grandmama say, struggling? She was like, we was all right. And my great-grandmother was 30-something when the Great Depression came. So And she ain't no reason to lie, but I believe that too, because my grandfather wasn't one to. He just about worked himself to death. He didn't let no grass grow on his feet. He died at 70-something years old. And my great grandmother said it, cause he wouldn't sit down. But she said he didn't want to, his parents were slaves, and he didn't want to go back to that. He said, I'll never be where I be beholden to a white man ever again. And so he worked. He didn't care if he worked himself into the grave. But like I said, he had a lot of acres. Family still got it. My uncles and them live on it, farm it. Well, they used to farm it. They done got so old they can't farm it no more. Well, they got cattle on it, but that's it. They ain't got nothing else up there. My cousin them don't do nothing with it. But I done told them, I said, if y'all get ready to where y'all want to sell it to me. It's sad when you have to say that. Y'all don't want to give it to a person. The dollar is declining because it's not backed by nothing. It sure is. They'll be all right. These white folk think they so rich that dollar won't be able to do nothing for you. You won't even be able to get on that plane because you won't be able to put no gas in it or nothing. I've been done with Apple. My phone does a good job with video, yeah. Oh, you welcome for the oil change tutorial. Was it really a tutorial? I guess it was a tutorial. And let me say this. Y'all don't be afraid to tackle some of these tasks. People think I'm crazy. It's not that I'm crazy. I am crazy, but that part ain't crazy. I'm just trying to empower y'all. Y'all, any little dollar you can save. If you I know you may not want. Do you think I want to change my oil? No. But number one, I do it because longevity of my vehicles. I know what's going in it. Because y'all, these people will lie to you nowadays. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about you. They'll tell you, yes, ma'am, we putting top of the line oil, and they ain't even change your oil. They go back there, go up on your car and beat up on some stuff, make some noise, make it sound like they doing something. They ain't doing nothing. Come out and you got the same oil. And I'm telling you, I have seen this stuff. Y'all don't understand. I used to be a professional mechanic. I was licensed and everything. I done seen them do stuff like that, and I done quit jobs or places that they ask their employees to screw the cut, because I refuse to do stuff like that, because I feel like if I'm going to do that, Jesus will come back and tap me on my shoulder while I'm up under there conning somebody. And I ain't got time to be trying to explain to the Lord why I'm conning somebody over a minimum wage job. So I just quit them places. So, and then I just started doing mechanic work, when I was in college, I was doing it as a hustle, just to make money. Because when you're in college, you need laundry detergents. You need toilet paper. You got to live. And then sometimes, let's be real, you just want to have a good time. You may want to go to the club this week. You may want to go out to dinner this week. You can't do that all the time. But shoot, when you're in college, that don't mean you stop living just because you're a poor college student. But y'all, you can do this stuff. I'm telling you, oil changes. That I will say, when it comes to oil changes, you can do them. If you go online, especially like YouTube, go on there and type in your model of vehicle, and I promise you, it's probably somebody on there show you exactly what you need to do to change the oil. The first time you do it, you're going to have to invest in a couple of tools, but make that investment, because once you have them, you have them. Those tools, if you just change an oil, those tools will last you a lifetime. I got to put brakes on my car. You think I'm finna go somewhere and pay these jughead fools $200 and something to put brakes on my car when brake pads cost $12? You see what I'm saying? That's skill. The difference between $12 and $200 is a lot of money. It ain't hard to do brakes either. But I'm going to tell you, start with oil. Oil is easier. Y'all, you can do it. Ain't nothing wrong with y'all. I'm not that intelligent. I just refuse to part with my money like that. It's hard to get. Because I'm going to tell you, when I got into car repair, I'm going to tell y'all how I got into car repair. So, being a girl in the city of a single mother, I got to a certain age, when you get to 15, 16, you start wanting to get your driver's license thing. Because that's like almost like, a rite of passage or freedom or, whatever. Hell, I don't know what kind of freedom it was going to be for me because I ain't had no vehicle. But I got me a driver's license. But when I got a license, my mama would let me go to the store and stuff like that. Go to the store. Shoot, I kind of get in her car, be driving. Shoot, I was enjoying that. I said, I need me one of these things. I worked in a little grocery store. I worked in a little part-time job at the grocery store. I said, okay, if I save my money, at first I asked my mom for a car like a fool. My mom say, "Car, you got some money?" I say, "No, ma'am." I mean, I say I got like 40, 50. She said, "Girl, $40, $50 there." And so she said, "Get you some money together, and we'll revisit this topic." So I did. I saved my money. I forget how many checks I saved, but I saved them checks on it. I wouldn't spend no money out them checks. I come home and eat cereal or whatever, eat whatever was at the house. I wasn't going to McDonald's. I wouldn't go nowhere. I was saving my little money. So I saved my money. I said, "Mom, I got $800. I saved $800. She said, "What? You done saved $800? I said, "Mama want me a vehicle." She said, "Okay, we're going to go." Okay. She said, "How about you done save this $800? She said, "I'm proud of you. I'm going to put $800 with it." And I was shocked because I couldn't believe she said that. Because I really didn't even know how much a car would cost. I really was going to her to ask her, how much more do I need to save? Mama said, "We're going to go somewhere and find your little cash car." And for those of y'all that don't know, that's just some, you get a little car, you pay for it all at once. You don't pay no note, whether you buy it from somebody else, these little lots or whatever. So we went and found a car for $1,200. Now, remember I said I had $800. She put $800 with it. That was $1,600. Now, when I found the car for $1,200, it wasn't all that. Mama say, "Okay, but we got $1,600. So it's $1,200 left. Pay your tax, title, and license. Get it registered and everything in your name." She said, I'm gonna put you on my insurance. You're gonna have to pay your portion though. You gotta pay your. So she worked with me and I got my little stuff. But let me tell you this, that little car I got, boy, I was in for a rude awakening. I learned a lesson. That was the raggedest car I ever bought in my life. I paid $1,200 for that car. I learned right then what you get with $1,200. That car was so doggone ragged. So one day I went to go get in the sucker, and the sucker wouldn't crank. Long story short, I talked to some people. I knew some guys. My school had auto shop, auto body. Well, no, it was mechanic. They didn't do body work. They did mechanic work like shop. And I went and talked to some of my friends. I said, "Y'all, come look at my car and see what's wrong with it." He come over there. He say, "Your battery dead, but that's because your alternator ain't charging. Your alternator must be bad." Child, I didn't know what was going on. I said, "Help me. What do I need to do?" He said, "You need another alternator." I said, so I went to the parts store. "How much do an alternator cost?" I think they told me almost $100, or it may have been $100 with tax. Child, I had no $100, but I was determined that car wasn't gonna sit there. My friend say, "Why don't you go to the junkyard?" He said, "You probably can get an alternator out there." I called the junkyard. I said, "How much is an alternator?" That man told me $15. That was my kind of price, baby. I said, $15? He said, "Yeah." I said, "You got it." And I told him what kind of car I had. And my stupid ass, let me tell you, I bought a Cadillac for $1,200. This is let you know how stupid I was. I bought a Cadillac for $1,200. You couldn't tell me nothing. Baby, that sucker rolled just as smooth. That sucker ragged as hell. I didn't even know it, honey. Don't, child. Y'all don't hold it against me. Anyway, long story short, I went to the junkyard. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Actually, I went to Walmart first. I bought me a couple of little wrenches and a little socket set. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. When I got to, I told myself, I got to the junkyard, I told myself, I said, if I can get it off, out these cars out here, I can get it on mine. And I said, the good thing is if I tear up in the junkyard, if I tear these up, they in the junkyard, they ain't my car. And I ain't gonna lie, the first one I tried to get off, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I told that sucker all the pieces. But I learned. I found another car just like mine. I got that doggone alternator off of there. And I kid you not, I was in the parking lot. No, I went home because I didn't drive. I rode, my friend dropped me off. She come got me. I went home. I put that alternator back on. And I crunked that car up. And you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. That's why I tell y'all, do something. You'll be surprised at how much confidence you'll get. You'll be so surprised. But nowadays, they got YouTube now. YouTube tell you how to do anything. See, I didn't have all that back then. I had to learn the hard way. You know, I had to either ask people or books or, you know, and books still are a good way to learn, but I'm just saying YouTube a little faster now, especially when it comes to cars. This stuff easier than you think. If you're not fooling with nothing electronic on a car, you can do it. You can do it. And oil don't fool. That don't touch your oil. Don't touch nothing electronic. Nothing at all. So if you worried about, oh, my car got a computer, so do mine. That all ain't got nothing to do with it. Let me see. I got natural med. Yeah, you right, Go Grow. You got plenty of herbs and stuff you can boil with it. And I'm the same way. Because I made that Tamiflu out of those, what you call them trees? Poplar? Is that what they call? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the little green balls. I made that Tamiflu out of that. I dehydrate a lot of different herbs. And I'm trying to learn more and more about these herbs. It's so much to learn about herbs, so much reading. It takes a lot. And then how you can manipulate the herbs using certain herbs in combination with other ones to yield whatever type of results you're looking for. But yeah, it's so much to learn when it comes to that. But that's why I said you got to have something, because we have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. I try to be prepared. Try to. Yeah, sweet gum. You right, sweet gum. That's what it was. What did I say at first? Poplar. Yeah, that's just as wrong as it want to be. A sweet gum. And you know, my granny used to collect those, and I didn't even know. I'm so silly. I never thought to ask her why she was collecting them. And I guess I know now. She probably was making. I never saw her make medicine with them, but I didn't live with my granny. I just was over there a lot, but yeah, she used to collect those sweet gum balls. But I know once it get through making, it's got a good smell to it. At least I like the smell. It's kind of herbal, like earthy kind of smelling. Something else I made, the mimosa bloom. I made that stuff. And then my elderberries. I dehydrated my elderberries. And at any time, I could make syrup out of those. But now that they're dehydrated, they're shelf stable. So, but yeah, a lot of this stuff, y'all better. Do y'all use the orange leaves off y'all citrus trees? Do y'all use those? I know they got a good smell to them. I think they say you can make tea out of them. But they smell real good. Shout out my neighbor over there just talking. She talking about how my neighbor, she wastes so much money, it's unreal. She be buying artwork, but she got a leak in her roof. Now, why would you buy artwork and you got a leak in your roof? Huh? Why would you do that? You hanging up our artwork, but water coming in through the ceiling. Now, you tell me why? Why would you do that? Huh? Do that make any sense? It don't make sense to me. But if it makes sense to her, if she like it, I love it. If she like it, I love it. Then she come tell me about how I wanna retar the top of my roof. Okay, who's stopping you? Buy the stuff and roll it out. She's standing out there talking just loud. I'm trying to talk soft because I don't want her to hear me. But she come tiptoeing her ass over here. And I know she having a stroke. Somebody got a system in their car. She can't stand it when music go by, yeah. Yeah, that don't bit more fade me than the man in the moon. Y'all, I'm finna figure out something. Uh-oh. How many people we got in here? 11 people, well. $11 people. Let me see, y'all. Y'all, I got another, I'm gonna change my greenhouse cover. I don't want that green no more. Oh, let me get these out of my pocket. I think I don't know how I'm gonna do this, y'all. But I want to switch over. This is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm going to end this live, but I'm going to come right back. Because I got some peas to shell. And I might as well talk to y'all while I shell these peas. And I'm going to harvest this, white Jamaican sorrel. So, let me show y'all. Y'all see how pretty? So I'm going to come in here and harvest some of that. And then, see, if there ever be some peas. And I pick every single day. And every day I come out here. Y'all see that lizard moving? Y'all see him? Every single day I come out here. And you think you done got them all. And it be some more. So, I'm going to end this one. And I'm going to come right back. Okay, y'all? So, y'all join me back in a few minutes. It ain't going to take me long. I'm going to switch to my computer. Real talk, I don't see how people like going live on their phone. I'm going to be real with you and tell you that because, first of all, you got to stay plugged up. You got to stay tethered down. You got to stay, girl, that computer your battery don't die like that. But anyhow, yeah, let me show y'all this. And I may walk through the garden if y'all want me to when I come back. Walk through the garden. What is this on me? Y'all see that tomato? Walk through here again and show y'all give y'all a live view of what's going on. But y'all come back. I'll be right back in 5 seconds flat.